Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Joyce if you're new here. And on this channel, you will find information that will help you on your personal development journey. Today, I wanted to tackle the big kahuna, but I want you to take it lightly because it's not meant to be the be all and end all. But I wanted us to think about this idea of God and the fact that as humans, we blame a lot of our challenges and issues on God. So I've heard recently more than anything that God told somebody to get married. And then 15 years later, God told them to divorce the person for no particular reason. It's just like, well, you got fed up. You decided that actually that's not working for me. I'm going to move on, but I'm going to blame it on God because God is the author of my life, right? Wrong. I think we are responsible for every and most things that happen in our lives. Why? Because ultimately we have a choice. We have free will to be able to say and own our decisions. So I think instead of abdicating our posts, instead of pushing back the idea of blame and shame, like that we accept it, that we own it, that we say, you know what? I don't think that was God, that was me, right? I made that decision. I am going to own it. There is no reason why we should be ashamed of making a decision and then retracting it. That is part of the journey of unveiling, the journey of us, the journey of our story, our origin. And I think we need to be grown now to start admitting fault and admitting blame and admitting responsibility because we own our lives. We own the decisions that we make. God does not want you broke. You are broke because you don't want to do what it takes. You don't want to take the price, pay the price rather. And you definitely don't want to remain consistent in what you're doing because it takes consistency. It takes ownership. It takes taking the blame sometimes and saying, well, oh, actually, that was not a very good business decision. But what I learned from it was A, B, and C. And I think that's part of being grown. That's part of being in this earth. And that's part of us saying and learning and growing and looking back our lives and saying, you know, Joyce, you did a good job. That was a terrible mistake, but I learned this. And let's start to own our lives. God wants you well. God wants you wealthy. God wants you in healthy relationships. God wants you in communion with your fellow humans. God wants you living in peace. Let's start owning that story and stop blaming everything on God. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you very soon.